CCC family, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today we're going to learn how to make a stocking advent. And so you see in the thumbnail how I have mine set up. You don't have to set it up that way, but I am going to be explaining how I did it in this video. So I will put a timestamp below. I know people can't stand it when they hear a lot of talking at the beginning of a video. So I will leave a timestamp below if you're not interested in finding out how I made it, if you just want to know how to do the stocking, okay? But so what I did, as you could tell from the thumbnail, there was a big board that I used. My husband got me that board. And then I got, so I made exactly 24, and then we got these hooks from Lowe's, these tiny little hooks. I got 4 packs of them, and that's what I'm hanging my little stocking from. There's 12 on the top and 12 on the bottom, and they're alternating, meaning that one on the top is over here, and one is over here, and one is up here, and one's over here, so that they fit appropriately. Okay, and then what I did, my husband actually drilled little holes in them for me, but that's not necessary. You can just screw these little hooks in, but he just did it to make it easier on my hands, okay? And he just put little spaces and measured it out and did it that way for the wood, for me to put it on there. And what I'm planning on doing is just putting some candy canes and little candies in here so that my kids can take them out each day until Christmas. So obviously I used all kinds of different colors. I'm not going to list every yarn that I used, but if there is a specific yarn that you're curious about or interested in, just leave a comment below and I will definitely figure out what yarn that you're interested in. I'll get the name and the color and everything for you. Now these little tags is what I used for my numbers. These tags I actually purchased from Amazon, and I will put that in the description box below, along with everything else we're talking about. I will put in the description box so that you can easily find it in case you want it. But these little tags, yeah, I got them from Amazon. I actually got them for the products that I sell, and I just use a little twine and I put it through there and put them on my projects. But what I did for this, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it so you'll know if you want to purchase these. I basically, of course, this comes undone so it can go right over the hook, and then I just folded it in half like that, and then I took my scissors and I cut right there where the half mark is, and then I put my number. So let's say I put a 3 like that. And then to make it even smaller, because so that you could see the stocking, because this is very big. Sorry, I hit the camera. I just went around like this and cut, went into a curve here at the bottom to make it look kind of cool. And then right up here at the top, I lined it up to end there, okay? And so that's exactly what I did to make the tags. Now, of course, you can, I had all this stuff in my house, so besides the little hooks, I really try to find ways to repurpose things. So think about that as you're making stuff. If you have anything in your home that you could use, even note cards, you could use the back of the note cards where it's not lined, pieces of paper, I don't know, anything you can think of. Post cardstock, you know, you could use fabric. You could cut out pieces of fabric and use a Sharpie and put a number on there. So you don't have to go out and purchase stuff. But as I said, I'll put it below in case you need it, okay? We're also using a 5.5 millimeter hook today. You will need a pair of scissors, and you will need a darning needle. Now, I will say that this is beginner friendly because I'm going to go slow and I'm going to explain it to you, and it's a very easy little stocking to do. But if there's anything in this video that you're not familiar with, or you're not comfortable with, or you're very new to crochet, I have a beginner video that I will link below so that you can learn everything you need to know about crochet, okay? So I think this is, you can use just one color of yarn throughout this, and it doesn't look bad, it looks good. But if you really want these to stand out, the toe and the foot portion here and the top, and you want to use, you know, different colored yarns. So today I'm just using a white and a red yarn to show you how to do it. Now for the colors, you'll want to start with this color. If you're wanting to use it for the toe part and this part right here, then you will start with that, and then you will change to this color, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so we're going to start with the white, and you're going to do a magic circle. And as I said, if you're not comfortable with any of this, I have the magic circle is in the beginner video, okay? So we've got our magic circle, and I'm going to pull it down so it's a small circle so it's easy to work into, and then I'm going to chain 1, okay? Now if you want to, you might need a stitch marker for this project. I will use one so it'll make it easier, but you don't have to have one, okay? Then I want you to do 8 single crochets into the middle of your magic circle. Okay, so we've got our 8, and then you're going to pull tight to close off your magic circle, and then you're going to slip stitch into your first single crochet that you put in there, not your chain 1, but your first single crochet. Okay, then you're going to chain 1 again, and in the same spot that you just slip stitched into, you're going to put 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. And then you're going to put 2 single crochets in the next, 1 and 2. And then in the next, you're going to put 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. And you're going to do that all the way around, 2 single crochets in each stitch. So you should have a count of 16 when you're done. Okay, so let's count and make sure we have our 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have our 16, and we're going to slip stitch to our first single crochet here, not our chain 1. Okay, just like that. Then you're going to chain 1, and in that same space, you're going to put a single crochet. And then you're going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So you should still have a stitch count of 16. Okay, so there's my 16, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out this last one that I did. That would have been my 16th single crochet. I'm going to pull that out because I actually want to change colors now, and I want to change colors right in that last single crochet. So I'm going to pull tight on the back of this to close up that hole, and I'm going to bring in my red yarn. I'm going to go right into my next stitch like I was going to do a single crochet, but I'm not going to go through the 2 stitches on my hook. I'm going to bring in my red yarn now, just like this, okay? Then I'm going to take this scraggly piece and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to tie it to the working white yarn. Working yarn meaning it's still on the skein. I haven't cut it off, and I'm not going to. But I'm going to tie that together right there so that it stays really tight, okay? So now we've changed colors. Now I'm going to slip stitch into this first single crochet. Now this is what I'm talking about. You might want to use a stitch marker. And really you should use a different color, but this is all I have right now. So what you could do is there would be a stitch marker here, okay? And that might make it easier for you to see. So then you would be pull out your stitch marker. Okay, and you would be going into this first single crochet to do a slip stitch, okay? Then you chain 1 and do another single crochet. And that right there is where you could put your stitch marker. Now this is only if you're having trouble finding where to start and stop, okay? So then I would put my stitch marker there, and then I would keep going, and that would tell me where I need to end, okay? But we're just gonna do, so we did our first single crochet there, and we're just gonna do single crochets all the way around, and we're gonna do that for 5 rows. But I would like to show you how to end each row, and it's just like the way we've been doing it before. And it's that way for every row for the stocking, little stocking. Okay, so we just did our last single crochet, and I need to go all the way over here to where I did my first single crochet. So here's where we brought in the yarn. Here's our chain 1, and there's our first single crochet. So we're going to slip stitch right into there. And that's where, if you wanted to, you could be using a stitch marker, okay? So now you're going to chain 1, and then in that same space do a single crochet, and then just repeat that all the way around. And like I said, you're going to need 5 rows. So I'm going to do my 5 rows, and you do your 5 rows, and then we'll meet back up together again in just a minute. On my last round of my 5 rows, and I'm going to go in here and do my last single crochet, and then I'm going to slip stitch to my first single crochet here. And then I'm going to just go ahead and cut off this yarn. Now your white yarn should still be on the inside and still be on its skein. So right here is the white yarn. So what I'm going to do is, okay, now we're going to work on the heel. So right there is where I just did that slip knot right there. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 over from the slip knot, I want you to bring in this white yarn just like this, do a chain, and then go right back into the same spot and do a single crochet. Now this is the portion, the heel, I want you to try to crochet as tightly as you can, because if you don't, it can look a little bit wonky. So try to crochet pretty tightly. Then go into your next stitch and put a single crochet. Then go into the next and put a half double crochet. Go into the next, and this is where your slip knot should be, and put a double crochet. Not your slip knot, your slip stitch. And that's where you put your double crochet. And in the next stitch, you're going to put a half double crochet. And in the next stitch, you're going to put a single crochet. And in the next, a single crochet. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So you had a single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, single crochet. And if it helps, you might want to write that down or pause and go over that again. Now you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and we're going to be working back the other way now. And we're going to skip this little stitch right here that's under there, that's right under that chain 1 right there. We're going to skip that. We're going to go right into our next stitch, and we're going to put a half double crochet. So there's 1. Then you're going to go into your next stitch and put another half double crochet. There's 2. Go into your next, put another half double crochet. There's 3. Go into your next, put a half double crochet. There's 4. And now you have 2 stitches left. You have the 2 single crochets that we did before. So you're going to skip one of those, and into the next one, the last one, you're going to put a slip stitch. And that one might be kind of hard to work into because that's where we brought in our white. Okay, so we've done a slip stitch there. Then you're going to chain 1, turn your work. You're going to skip this first stitch again right there, and you're going to go into the next, and you're going to put a half double crochet. Then you're going to go into the next and put a half double crochet. And then you're going to skip your next stitch, go into the next one, and do a slip stitch. Okay? And then your heel is done. Again, you might need to pause, rewind, go over that again. That's fine. It might take a minute to get, or it might not. So you cut off that yarn, and you're done with the heel now. Now what I do is I just put all my yarn back into my stocking because I have older children, and it doesn't matter if I work in these ends or not. I'm just going to be putting candy in them. They still look great and wonderful. So this is totally up to you. But if you're giving this to a small child or a family with a small child who might play with it, it might be important that you work in all the ends, okay? So that's up to your discretion. But what I like to do is I will knot off, and I will place these on the inside of my work, okay? So now we're going to bring our red yarn back in again, and we're going to bring this in. Okay, so this is where we did our 2 half double crochets here at the top, and this is where we did our slip stitch. So I want you to go into the last half double crochet that you did before the slip stitch, which is right there. And I want you to bring in your other color of yarn. So then you would chain 1 to bring in your yarn, and in the same spot you would do 1 single crochet. Now the goal now is to get 16 all the way around. So there's 1 single crochet. And in the side going down here, there's not really any evident stitches to work into. So just anywhere that you can, I want you to put 2 stitches going down this row. So there's 1, and then I'm going to put 2. Okay, so now we have 3. Then we're going to be working down this side. Now, I do not want you to work in this stitch here. As you can see, there's already some white coming out of that. That stitch has already been worked into. So you want to go right into your next workable stitch. So the next one is right there. So we've got 3, and we're going to go right into there. And we're going to put a single crochet all the way around. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we need 16, so we need 3 more stitches. So we're going to do 3 stitches going up this white part here on the side of the heel. So you're just going to, like I said, find a space to put them anywhere. So this would be our 14th stitch. So there's 14, 15, and 16. So that's the 3 going up. And now you need to slip stitch into the first single crochet that you did. Okay? Then you're going to chain 1, and you're going to go right back into the same spot and do a single crochet. Now you're going to do single crochets all the way around. And you should try to keep a count of 16. Now, if you're over by 1, 17, maybe even 18, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. It's going to turn out great no matter what. But try if you can to get the 16. Okay, and now we just did our last stitch, and we need to work into our slip stitch, not our chain 1. So go into the slip stitch. Okay, just like that. Then you would chain 1 again, go into the same spot, do a single crochet, and then just single crochet all the way around. Now you're going to need 9 rows of single crochet starting from where we brought in our red yarn after the heel. Okay, so you need 9 rows. So you go ahead and keep working around and round. Remember to slip stitch to the first single crochet, and then chain 1, and then single crochet again. And then once you get your 9 rows, we'll meet back up together again. So I just finished my 9th row, and so now we're going to change over to the white to put the little row of white at the top. So I'm going to go right into my next stitch, and I'm going to start doing a single crochet, but I'm not going to finish it. I've got 2 loops on my hook, and I'm going to bring in my white yarn just like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and tie this in the back so that it doesn't come undone, and then I can cut off my red. And then I can just hide these back in my stocking, or like I said, you might want to work them in. That's up to you. Okay, and so now we have our white yarn on, and we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that we did, just like we've been doing. Then we're going to chain 1, and in that same space, put a single crochet, and we're going to do single crochets all the way around. Okay, and then when you get done with your last single crochet, you're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet here, just like that. Then you're going to chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is for your little hanger here. And then you're going to skip one stitch, this stitch right here, go into the next and do a slip stitch. And then you will cut off. Now this is the one piece that you are going to have to work in, because it's not going to, I mean, I guess you could press it down back in there, but you probably really just need to work it in, and you can just work it in right under here. And right there where there's a tiny little space, which bothered me, I like to just put this right onto my darning needle. And then I'll go through right here to kind of close up that little gap there from where we did the hanger. And then I go in through the back, and then it's just work through 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then you just cut off, and you're all done with your mini stocking. Okay, and then you can put it all together. I made 24, you know, but you don't have to do that many. You can get creative and do anything you want with this. And another thing that I thought about doing before my husband found the board for me is you could just take a piece of yarn and string all of these through and hang it from anything. If you don't have a fireplace, you could hang it from your cabinets in your kitchen. You can hang it from a shelf, a bookshelf, anything you can think of you can do with these. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, you can leave them below, obviously, in the comments section, or you can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, and I have a Gmail. All of that is in the description below, along with everything I told you was going to be there. So look for all that stuff. If you have any Christmas requests, let me know, and I will try to get those filled and make a video on them for you. So happy holidays, and I'll see you again soon, guys. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye.